What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Retro Ground Podcast. If you're new here, I'm your host, Johnny. And today we have a secret episode with the man who's sponsored by PSA, well known in the community, an internet sensation, and just recently a father, right? Not too long ago, 2 months ago, right? And everyone, here's a secret episode with Chasing Celebi. Hey. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate that. That's the most praise I've ever had in 20 seconds by anybody.
I actually had to write something because it's a secret episode.
Oh,
right?
man,
So I figured I had to do something special.
Made you work a little bit.
Yeah, you did, man. Introduce yourself.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit more where you're based out of.
Cool.
And then how long you've been doing this for, man.
Yeah, sure. My name is Kane. That's the actual name, Kane. Pokemon name is Chasing Celebi. I've been vending for about a year, and I'm based in the Valley, like 818 area code. Yeah.
1 year.
1 year.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, just 1 year.
Man, how did you become an internet sensation? How did you hold on. And how did you get sponsored that fast? That's insane.
Okay,
bro.
yeah.
You don't have to drop the secret sauce, but
no, I mean, I think that's part of the problem with the community. If there are any, it's like the gatekeeping. You know, people don't want to talk about certain things. They want to act like if I say this, then I'm gonna, fall behind. I don't mind talking about that stuff.
Okay.
I think what changed. I'm not an internet sensation. I appreciate that, but
trust me, you are, because when I say Chasing Celebi and that logo comes up, I think everyone who resells that I know knows that.
I appreciate
knows
that.
the name.
I appreciate that. That was a hand-drawn logo, by the way. So
by you?
I try to put that out there as much as possible because I worked so hard on that thing. Like, I have a photo of myself like tracing the letters, like filling them in and all that stuff. So I'm very proud of that logo. I think it's one of my finest works. But anyways, so when I first started the Instagram, I went with Instagram first.
Okay.
YouTube didn't start till probably December of last year. But I started with like claim sales. So I have a collection from when I was a kid, and like a lot of people, I took a long break, and then I kind of got back into modern, like Sword and Shield, Scarlet Violet era, ripping packs and stuff like that. So I would just start posting cards on claim sales and, get a couple followers a week. And I would just do it the same day every week. So I would do Thursdays and Sundays. No matter how many cards I had, I would just do the same sale time and day. And that consistency, got me some followers every week. And then I realized, like, I've never shown my face at all. Like, I've 2 months of content, 3 months of content. I've never shown my face. And I thought, if I'm going to take this seriously, like, what's going to differentiate me from all the people that post ripping packs, and like, what's going to be the difference?
Of course.
So it was kind of just betting on myself. Like, if I show my face and, people like my personality or maybe just like my face, that they might want to stick around with me a little bit more than the other set of just hands on camera, if that makes sense. So I started posting my face. And that started getting more like retention of people. And then when I started vending, people would be, hey, I saw you on Instagram. Hey, I saw you on YouTube. And then I was just like, I have to show my face all the time. So I'm not the most comfortable like showing my face all the time. And like, I don't even like hearing my own voice, but
I don't think anyone does.
I don't think anyone does either. But showing my face definitely was the point of change in terms of like kind of sitting around like 1-2 followers a week to getting like consistent views and stuff like I'm nowhere close to where I want to be, but in terms of the difference, it would be like showing my face.
Wow, man. Because I feel like I said, like, people know the name.
That's the hope.
And I think it was Kevin. Shout out to Collector's Den, man.
Yeah,
He's the one who
thank
said,
you for having me on here. You got me on here, so it's cool.
And he said that someone, or I guess you were vending with him, and might have been what was it? He was there too, vending with you. I forgot. I'm like some horrible names. We Can Be Heroes. There you go.
Oh yeah.
And they posted you like we have like a YouTuber or something like that. Like
promoting it. Yeah, I committed to that show. And they posted a story saying, we have a celebrity vending. I messaged them so fast. I'm like, don't say that kind of stuff, man. I'm just like everyone else. Don't say that. But I got a kick out of that.
So
That was
cool.
pretty funny.
You're so humble, man. This guy. And he's like, and he was telling me like, man, I'm nervous, bro. And I'm like, because he didn't have a table cover.
Yeah.
And me and one of my other good friends, he does a lot of printing, and I help him with with designing and that stuff. And I told my buddy, hey, bro, print me a collector's den table cover, like. We need one.
That's cool.
And then I surprised him. He's like, oh, man. He's like, because I was nervous. I'm going to be vending with celebrities, like a table cover. And he's like, oh, I'm nervous. I told dude, you already put content out yourself, man. Like, you are a celebrity, bro. You're a YouTube guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, thanks. But, he was just telling me, like, man, you need to get chasing, Celebi on your podcast. Moving on to a second question, man. How did the name come about?
Oh, man. So I was thinking about that part of it was, what name would I want to put out? And I probably thought too long about it, but I feel like it paid off. I try to really think about stuff, especially when it's in terms of like content creation. Yeah. Because that's a big motivator for what I'm doing is content creation. I used to do a lot of like film and TV for school. I used to edit. I used to do like weird YouTube videos when I was younger, and I loved editing. So
how old are you, by the way?
34.
Oh, nice.
34, yeah. I got grays now that you can actually see. They're not hidden in the back. But yeah, so content creation is like a big part of why I'm doing this, and so I'm very intentful about, the captions or the framing or whatever. So the name was like, man, I thought about that forever. And Chasing Celebi came out just kind of to take away from what I see a lot of, like just like Pokey and then something, or like just your name and then something. I was trying to think of like something that would stick. Like, what does that even mean? A lot of people ask me that, like, why Chasing Celebi? And then when I explain why, they go, oh, that's so cool. So the reason why I chose Chasing Celebi is because Celebi is the time traveling Pokemon. So, in our hobby, we're all chasing a card. Like, oh, I want the Lugia alt art.
Man,
I want the Moonbryon. I want, whatever card it could be. So if you're trying to get that card, you're chasing Celebi too, because Celebi's trying to get the same chase or whatever. So it's just a play on chasing, the chase card. Yeah. Celebi's the time traveler, so you're chasing Celebi as well as chasing your whatever alt art or base set Charizard. Oh, man. And on the logo, it's like a little... Altoids box. It's like a little mint tin because Celebi's like a foot tall. So instead of like our Zion cases and all that stuff, it's like a little Altoids box. So
that's so cool.
So that's pretty much like the meaning behind the name. It's not really like a persona. It's just kind of like, we're in the Pokemon hobby. Let's chase the fastest Pokemon in the universe. Yeah. So that's kind of where the name came.
That's super cool.
Better than the other ideas I had.
What were that was my next question.
Oh, okay.
What were some of the other names?
Oh God. So my favorite Pokemon probably is Suicune, the legendary dog. I just couldn't. I couldn't think of like a name to make it sound cool. Like Suicune doesn't really like flow that great. Yeah. You know what I mean? I love the Pokemon, but the name was kind of weird to like put something together, so I kind of scrapped that early. The name I almost went with was Kanto Kane.
Kanto Kane.
Because like I'm a OG Pokemon kid, man. Like red version, blue version.
Same.
That was me, and so we're in the Kanto region. That's the OG, whatever. And my name's Kane with a K, so I was like, oh, Kanto Kane would be awesome.
That's actually not a bad name.
I think it is.
You think so?
It's just too much about me. Like it's my name all the time.
That makes sense.
So Kanto Kane was the one that was probably the closest to being the name. And then the Celebi thing just kind of popped up. So yeah.
I love that, man. And as a vendor, what has been your favorite card show, man?
My favorite card show. It's probably the one that I do the most now. It's a Front Row Card Show. It's
Pasadena?
Based in Pasadena. Yeah. They've kind of expanded a little bit since I started doing it. But I think that was the biggest show for networking. So, every time I go, I meet a cool vendor that works next to me. I meet so many cool people that come to the table. I think that was sort of the solidifier of like, man, I want to do this because it's just... It feels like family run too. It doesn't feel like corporate. Everyone that's like managerial, like they're like your friends, and it's like a small knit group. Wow. And I've just had really good experiences there. and it doesn't feel like a chore to set up. It's a big show, but I actually enjoy being there. So I would say that would be the one, Front Row Card Show.
Front Row Card Show?
Yeah.
What was your first card show ever?
My first card show was the regional card show in Garden Grove.
Okay.
It was at like the Marriott Hotel, little hotel setup. That was my first show, regional card show.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. What is one thing you look forward to when you vend at a card show?
Selfishly, it's being, given the chance. You know what? Honestly, not even the money. Like, I don't do this full time.
Okay.
So I'm not really. I mean, I am motivated financially to do this. But from someone that just loves Pokemon, just being able to see cards come across your table, whether I can afford it or not, it's the chance to see and touch like amazing cards. And then from that, making relationships with the people that are bringing the cards.
Yeah.
And that kind of retention of a relationship. So every time you do a show, they come back to see you. And it just kind of becomes like a cyclical, like, hey, I'm vending March 10th. And they'll be, hey, like 7 people will be like, I'll be there to see you. So that's really cool. I get a chance to touch awesome cards. And then the people that come by, like, you just build relationships through that.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Man, what's the most you paid for a table?
The most I paid for a table is probably Front Row. It's a 2-day show.
Okay.
And I would say it's at the level, it's getting to that level of like Collecticon. They're only West Coast based, but it's about, for a weekend, it's like $250.
So like a $125?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad.
What's Collecticon?
Collecticon is, that's like a national show.
Okay.
And people are like scalping tables for Collecticon now and stuff like that. It's like a big convention that's national.
Yeah.
I haven't done that show yet. I don't feel like I'm ready for that per se. But yeah, about $250 a weekend is the most I've spent.
Okay. Who inspired you to resell Pokemon cards, man?
I would say Bulbasaur. He has like a YouTube channel, and that's kind of how I came across of it. I've always been interested in working with Pokemon cards, but I didn't realize the aspect of the vendor side of things in terms of the art, the vendor side of the deals and the work. So I discovered him on YouTube, and I just kind of got hooked to his vendor POV videos. And I started jumping back in. I took a break from collecting for a long time, and when I started watching the Bulbasaur videos, I was like, man, I gotta start ripping some packs again. So back in the day, you could just buy whatever you want at the stores.
Oh yeah.
So I would 100%. Buy ripping packs. I opened a Silver Tempest ETB. My first ever ETB, I pulled the Lugia alt art.
Ooh.
So I was hooked. I'm like, man, this is the best. Like, I'm just gonna keep ripping packs. So I started collecting cards, more modern cards.
Yeah.
And I started buying like graded cards, slabs and stuff like that. And I thought I was doing good and what I was picking up. And I think what put me over the top to start was I actually reached out to him and I said, hey, like, this is what I want to do. Like, I kind of want to do what you're doing. This is what I've bought so far. What do you think? And he
responded.
Oh, he was super nice, like paragraphs. And he kind of woke me up a little bit. He's like, you kind of got to get these things. So I looked at what I had. I'm like, I think I'm doing it not necessarily wrong because, at the end of the day, you got to collect what you like.
Of course.
But for what I want to do, he kind of like steered me in the direction of, you should probably go this way. And just having him respond, honestly, it was like the best. And I met him at Front Row Card Show. I went as a guest, like walk around, and he was there. And I met him in person, and small talk here and there. And I left that show. I'm like, man, I got to do this.
That's so cool.
So talking to him, getting a response from him, and then meeting him, and just being accessible, because I guess you'd say he's one of the bigger content creators in this space. For him to be accessible and responsive was super cool, and that's what I want it to be for other people, like new vendors or anything like that. Like, I don't feel like I'm at his level, but he taught me to be accessible to people. So
that is so cool.
Him being just super cool is kind of what helped me that last push to get a table and start.
Wow. What's your inventory worth right now? What would you say?
To be honest with you, the market is so crazy. It goes up and down all the time. I could tell you what I started with. I started with about $3,000. Like my first show was about $3,000, $3,000 to $4,000 worth of singles and graded cards. Like, I don't really do like sealed yet. So a combination. You want to get
into sealed or not really?
You know, I do. I just need to find a better way to transport it home. All my shows are local, so it's not that big of a deal. But for me as a consumer, if I go to a vendor and all his boxes are dinged, you know, that loses sales.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, so I don't know if I want to carry like acrylic cases, like the really sturdy ones. Yeah. I like bringing my bag and I have my cards. Yeah, I started with about 3,000 to 4,000 in singles and slabs, and then now I would say anywhere between 5 to 7x of that value.
Okay.
Now, I'm like I said, I'm nowhere in terms of financial gain to where I want to be. I have goals for that.
Yeah.
But I would say that's a pretty good increase, like 5 to 7x what I started with. You definitely like drop down when you sell, and
of course.
When the market goes up and down. But I would say about 5 to 7x.
Okay.
Where I started.
That's not bad. It's not bad. What was your first sale?
Oh man, I want to say it was the Bubble Mew. I had it raw. It was at that October, that regional show. I remember the guy that bought it from me. I believe it was the Bubble Mew, because he walked in and he looked at my table and he said, "How much for the Bubble Mew?" And I think at the time, man, it was $130, which is, man, I think raw now it's like $600 or $700. And I think the Bubble Mew was the first card I ever sold. I remember the guy's face. He bought other stuff too, but I think Bubble Mew was the one he wanted. I put it dead center in the case too. I was like, how do I, display the cards? Like, how do I get them to buy? So the middle row of the case was like the good cards. Yeah. The bottom half was like the lower end, and the top half was like mid.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I think about that. I'm saying, like, I think about this stuff all the time. Like, how do I even put the cards out? So the middle row was like the top shelf stuff, And so Bubble Mew was dead center. So he was like, so it was kind of cool. Like, I had a little hole in the middle of the case,
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, Bubble Mew was the first card.
Wow, that was your first sale ever.
First sale, Bubble Mew. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you feel at that moment when you made that sale?
Let's get the next one. Get the next one done.
That's cool.
Yeah, get the next one done.
How far into the show was this?
5 minutes.
No way.
Yeah, it was 5 minutes because it was October. So, the market boom happened in December. So I think people were already starting to think of what are good holds.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was necessarily his intention, but when he saw the Bubble Mew, he was like, I want it. Like, didn't even think about it, didn't even haggle. He was just like, I need that first, and then we proceeded with everything else. But I think, just like how I'm trying to be now with the current market, I think there were just a lot of people with a checklist of, if I see this card, I'm going to buy it. So, yeah. Wow. 2 months later, just everything shot up. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Do you get annoyed or bothered when people lowball you?
I don't, because it's part of the game.
Yeah.
And I actually like the negotiating. It's funny though, because sometimes people on specifically TikTok, someone will offer me, let's say the card is $100. No, even worse. The card's $10.
Okay.
And they go, "Would you take 6?" In a vendor perspective, that's a 40% discount on a card that I might have picked up for 8, 7, and maybe the market was lower. So at the time I picked it up for 9, and it might have dropped or something. So, someone asks for 40% off. It doesn't seem like a lot because it's $4. But in terms of financially, it's a 40% discount. So me loving negotiating, I'll counter you $2 more. Let's have fun. How about 8? Oh my God, I get killed in the comment section. Like, look at this guy. What a bum. He can't save $2, So it's funny because, I like negotiating.
Okay.
But when I negotiate lower end numbers, I get killed for it.
Wow.
But it's just me, having an interaction with someone. Cool. So I would say that's the one thing. Like, I don't mind the lowballing because I like the countering. But I get a lot of flack for it if it's under like $50. Oh my God, I get killed. So that's the one downside of putting everything out on YouTube is they see every transaction.
Yeah.
Man, you can't afford $2 to give this to this guy. And I'm like, it's 40%. It's just the principle of it. But yeah, it's all fun. It's all good.
No, for sure.
I don't mind the low ball.
Do you feel that nowadays there's a lot of resellers or people trying to vend? I feel like it just kind of came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, I think it's because of that market boom in December. You know,
Okay.
Surging Sparks was the set that was probably the last like accessible set to just buy at the store. And after Surging Sparks, that it just went crazy. So I think people, in combination of, you know, consuming media and, you know, there's so many vendor POVs on YouTube. There's so many people ripping packs on YouTube. There's so many people, you know, doing a bunch of stuff like that. So I think that a lot of people are trying to hop on to be a vendor. And for me, I don't mind it. I'm not worried about competition drowning me out. Not in a cocky way, but just like it's good that we have people if they're there for the right reason. You know, I don't mind plugging a vendor. I don't mind plugging a YouTube channel. I don't have any, you know, selfishness about that aspect. I just think that if you're going to be a vendor, you're going to be one of the next 100 vendors that start. You got to be good at the table. You know, there's a lot of vendors that just sit there. They don't talk when you walk by. They don't make eye contact. They just kind of are just not good people persons.
Yeah.
And I think that if you want to be in this space, you have to be. So that's why for me, I don't mind the influx of vendors because I'm fairly new as well. So I can't say that, oh, I've been here for 5 years. I'm new too relative to a lot of other vendors that are out there. But it's just, you know, if you're going to do this, you got to do it the right way. And if you don't, that's fine. But I think that if you're going to do it, you got to be in it for the right reason. In terms of the people aspect, you know, your financials and your goals and your inventory is your job. That's fine. But if you're going to be a vendor, at least smile.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Yeah.
You know, you just see people like with their eyes down, they don't talk. And it's like they got 7 ponchos. It's like you won't even hear a word from them. So I don't mind the new vendors. That's cool. I'm fairly new too. So.
Gotcha. What are some of the things that you say that you would dislike about other resellers?
I think, you know, for me, it's the vendor to vendor transactions that I dislike the most.
Okay.
Not to say I don't like working with vendors. Like I have a lot of great relationships with a lot of people, and when they do come to the table, it's great. Like it's fun. I don't mind those vendor interactions. But it's the vendor interactions where they just want to kind of cut the relationship part out and just try to like hustle you out of your space. My first 3 shows, I couldn't tell you how many times a vendor would just walk up to me, not even be like, hey, like, welcome, or like, how are you doing, or how's the show? It's like, hey, let me cash you out. And, you know, I think it's also kind of a test to see, you know, they want to see your intention. They want to see what you're here for. And so it came so many times, man. Like, hey, let me cash you out. And of course, they want to offer you like 70% of your whole table, 75% of your whole market value at your table. And the response right after is, hey, but you got money now. You can walk around and you can buy whatever you want.
Wow.
But the thing is about that is you're going to sell your inventory for 70%. And then you're going to walk around and everyone's going to give you 90%. So you're already going to offload your stuff for 30% off, and then the best discount you might get is 10%. So yeah, you got all this money at a loss, and you're not going to find anyone there that will give you 70% back. So that was something I felt early on. Is like, I think I'm being tested, and obviously I wasn't there for a cash out. So I would always just respectfully say no. But
is that hard to say no?
Not anymore. Because when I first started, I was so concerned about the I guess the impact or the image I leave on people. But I can, you know, I just bet on myself, and I'm like, you know what, this guy might not like me or whatever, but I can bet on myself that I'll have a good experience for other people. So back then I was like, oh man, this vendor might be upset about me saying no. But then I was thinking, like, you know what? I know what I have. You know, I know what I'm worth, and I can bet on myself to be okay. I don't need this cash out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good with my inventory. And that was one of the things I was taught from Bulbasaur when we spoke earlier about that, was having the right goals and executing on those goals. So my biggest takeaway from my conversations with him was making the most out of your inventory. So do you want to get inventory to just liquidate every single show? Or do you want to, you know, hold on to your margins? Do you want to, you know, stay true to what you believe a card can be? And no matter what's waved in front of you, like, no, I kind of really want to be at this number for this. And not to be like a, you know, over market kind of conversation, but just like, I don't really need to just give you this card just to have cash. You know what I mean? I'm okay holding this, and the deal will come that I'm looking for, versus, oh, you're going to wave a couple hundreds, I'll just give it up for the cash. Gotcha. So that's my least favorite part, is when, you know, as vendors, we should be peers, and when they're just trying to just give you money and just get you out of the table, I'm like, what a bummer. I don't really get that anymore, but back then it was kind of like a nerve-wracking thing where I felt conscious about my relationships with everybody. And you can't control that. So
of course. Yeah.
You just got to control what you can. So
yeah. And how did it come about? How did you stumble upon like the PSA thing? Because I feel like that is such a cool thing.
Yeah, thank you. I know you asked earlier, sorry I didn't answer.
No.
So I am doing this for my future. You know, I would love to have an amazing collection and everything like that, but a year into this, I have the smallest personal collection. Like, I have almost no personal collection because I'm so focused on turning this into something bigger. Like I said earlier, like, I have financial goals for this. I have content creation goals for this. And so I was kind of brainstorming, what else can I be doing? Because, you know, I can do the vendor POV videos and things like that, but at the end of the day, if you're just doing the same vendor POV every single time, if you're not growing, then you have no other avenues to grow. So I saw that some of the bigger content creators would have like a little blurb in their video, like, hey, you know, if you grade with PSA, you can get $25 off. And I was like, I wonder if that's accessible to me, you know? And like I said, these are people that have like 6-figure followers, 5-figure followers. And I hit up PSA and I said, hey, my name is Kane. I'm chasing Celebi. I run this Pokemon account. I do vendor POVs. I do this, that. And I said, I just wanted to inquire about the possibility of doing the affiliate program, which is what it's called, the affiliate program. And they got back to me pretty quickly. And they said, yeah, we're not accepting applications, but we appreciate your interest. If it ever comes about, we can let you know, or you'll see like a blurb about applying. And instead of just saying, okay, thank you, I said, you know what? Let me just swing for the fences. I have a link tree where you just kind of scan the QR and my YouTube pops up, my Instagram, the TikTok, or I just, you know, post the reels and stuff. I replied back and I said, hey, that's great, but I just wanted to show you. And I just plugged myself. Wow. I just plugged all my content. I said, this is my YouTube channel. This is the link tree. In the link tree, you'll see the YouTube channel. I do these vendor POVs. I have this amount of subscribers. And then I said, you know, this is my Instagram in the link tree. It has these videos. And they replied back and they said, we'll forward this to X person. And so the next day, said person replied back and said, let's see what we can do. And by the end of the day, I had it. So there was no opportunity for it, but I just advocated for myself. So going back to what we said in the beginning, if I never showed my face, no chance.
Wow.
No chance. I have another brand partnership with Dragon Scale. They do like storage cases. They do slab bumpers, things like that. When I applied for their affiliate program, which is pretty open, you can just apply. At the time, I had no content with my face, nothing. And they said no. They're like, hey, we appreciate it, but sorry, we can't give it to you. So a couple months later, I started doing the video content, my face, blah, blah, blah. And I emailed them again. Got it.
Wow.
I got it like instantly. So when it came to PSA, it was like final boss. Like, let's see what I can do. So I was happy about that because I didn't take no for a final answer. I was like, you know what? Let me swing one more time. So it paid off.
You're determined, man.
Yeah, it made sense for me to have that.
Yeah.
Because you know, if you're gonna have great content, you might as well offer something that's good too.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a great deal for people, especially when they're grading for the first time. You get $25 off. That's a card graded.
Yeah.
That's shipping taken care of.
Yep.
So, you know, I want to provide something that's good for people. So
that's super
I'm
cool.
grateful for them.
That's the first time I've probably seen anyone just PSA. I think Kevin had mentioned, like, this guy's, you know, affiliated with PSA. I'm like, what, for real? And then I see your reels, like, sure enough, it comes up $25 off. I'm like, that is so cool. So I was like, I had to ask for sure.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem.
What are some of the things you enjoy the most about reselling and being a reselling vendor?
It's talking to people. You know, it's talking to people. You know, like I said, I'm not here doing this full time, so I don't have.
Do you ever plan on doing it full time?
To be honest with you, no.
Okay.
But it's with a caveat. It's doing this by stretching my time out in the worst way possible. You know, I have a career, like I have a different life aside from Pokemon, so I don't need Pokemon to pay the bills. Like, I don't need Pokemon to eat. So I think that's what helps make my table experience a good one. Is I'm not dying to sell that card for you. Wow. And if you don't like it, I'm going to be a jerk. You know, you want to make a deal? Cool. You want to trade? You don't want 80%? You want 82%? I like that card, sure, 82%, you know, and I'm not here to say that, you know, you come to my table, you'll get everything half off.
Yeah,
but
course.
I don't have that aura of like, you got to buy that, or you don't want to take my percent, then all right, then don't come back. You know, I'm not there for that. And I think that's what, not people don't know that, but they feel that vibe of, hey, like, we're just hanging out, you know, and oh, you want $2 more? Sure, whatever, let's do it. You know, like, don't get me wrong, I'm trying to make the most for myself as well, and
of course,
make good deals and stuff like that, and kind of stick to my structure. But who's to say I can't do a straight trade with someone, or they really wanted that Erica's invitation? Like, got you, no worries. You know. So,
you ever had any shows where you made no sales?
Oh man, it haunts me. There was a show I did in December. I did 2 shows in December.
Yeah.
This was at the same location, Garden Grove, the regional show, and I get there, and you know, they kind of tell you your table.
Yeah.
When you're there, and they say, hey, you're in row this and table this, and this is my 3rd show, and I was so excited to go back there. Oh, Garden Grove, my first show was here, man. I had so much confidence, and I get to my table, and I'm a little behind from everyone else setting up. And I just look down, and I kind of know vendors already. And I'm like, man, this is like the creme de la creme of like vendors. There's like $3 million next to me. You know what I mean? There's like so much high roller vendors here. And then there's me. And I kind of got, you know, like imposter syndrome. And I was like, man, this is going to be rough. Because what I thought of was, okay, people are going to start at the end of the row. And they're going to walk. And they're going to be like, hey, can I buy this? Hey, can I buy this? Hey, I want to sell. And by the time they get to me, they're not going to have anything to work with me with. And sure enough, that show started. And I don't know the traffic flow or if it was against me that day, but man, they just started on that side. And by the time they got to me, they have their, like, you know, their phone. They'll be like this, and they'll be like, hey, do you have the reverse hollow Snubble? And I'll be like, no. They'd be like, oh, okay, all right, cool. And then just leave. Like, there was no, hey, how you doing? Like, you want to look at the case? Or,
wow,
you know, what's going on? And another person will come up, they'll be doing like this. And they'll be like, oh, hey, do you have this reverse hollow Chikorita? And I'll be like, no. And they'll be like, all right, cool. See you next time. So it actually came true where I got to bet on myself, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
But I feel like at the time, my inventory was still growing, so I didn't have like crazy like banger cards, and I was just building up. So I did have deals, and I ended up still putting a video out, and it was very well received and stuff like that. But for me in my head, I was just drowning the whole show, man. I was like, every time someone asked me for a single card, I knew they weren't going to stay, and it actually happened. Like, it actually worked out that way. So I did have some deals here and there, but I walked away from that show super bummed out. That.
So you think table placement matters?
It shouldn't, but in some cases it can. If there is that.
There's a couple factors, right? You would say like inventory.
Yeah.
Right. Because you said you were just building your inventory.
I was starting out. Yeah. I started with like 3K. So by that time I was still probably like 4K, 4.5. I don't know. It was like 2 shows later. You go up and down and you trade stuff out, you bring stuff in. So it was just more of the opportunities that weren't as available as it is now, where I'm more like familiar with people and people are more familiar with me. It's still, I'm competing with a lot of big time vendors that I look up to. Like, wow, like I would love to buy all these slabs at once and, things like that. But I'm getting there. So that was a very powerful show for me, because it just made me more motivated to retain those people. So they're not just coming for that one card. They're like, hey, I'm here to see you. Like, what's going on? Like, how are you?
Yeah.
I might not have all the money in the world to buy every single card you want to sell me, maybe, or maybe it's out of my reach. But you came to see me, and you stayed a little bit instead of like, you got that one card, bro. It's like, you got that Klefki. Hate Klefki, man. You got that one Klefki card. So, yeah.
Oh man,
that show haunts me, man. I still think about that show all the time.
What do you think would have made a difference, or would have changed that inventory, having the right inventory? Or?
I think so.
Okay.
A lot of my inventory today is black and white from back then.
Okay.
Everything back then was like ultra modern, like all Scarlet Violet. So when you walk by and after you've sold all your cards to everyone and you get there, it's like, I've already seen like this card 6 tables back, 5 tables back. Like, I saw the same card over and over. That's why it's fine, so I'm a little more selective now, but yeah.
Where do you get a lot of your inventory as well? Where do you source out your inventory?
People reach out on Instagram now.
Okay.
Like, hey, I want to, trade this with you. Would you be interested in a trade? Or, hey, I want to sell some cards. Like, where are you at on that?
That's cool.
So that's cool now. People reach out to me, but I mean, the best way is at a show, regardless. You can always buy whatever you want anytime. But it's cool when people reach out to you now online, and but definitely the shows are where I get the most inventory.
Yeah.
I try to stay true to that of like, don't get FOMO just because you're not doing a show. Don't overspend, and you can wait till your show comes and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of holding back, from that buying urge. So.
Yeah, for sure. So here's a little side question, man. Who makes it better? Wingstop or Buffalo Wild Wings, bro?
Oh, man.
If you had to pick one.
First of all, bone in. I don't do the boneless wings.
I love boneless, bro.
More for you then. You get all the boneless, I get the bone-in wings. That's fine. Man. Can I give you an interesting answer?
Of course.
Okay.
That's what the question's for.
The wings at Wingstop, the fries at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Say it again. The wings at Wingstop.
The wings at Wingstop, but the fries at Buffalo Wild Wings. They got those droopy fries at Wingstop, man.
You're right.
They need like 5 more minutes. I don't know what it is, but they're just droopy.
Yeah. What flavor? Wingstop.
I don't mind a good lemon pepper. Because it's good with the dip.
Yeah.
A dry wing is good with the dip.
Yeah.
If the wing's too wet, you're like mixing sauces and stuff like that. I like the lemon pepper. Some of the like habanero mango stuff is good too. But I like the crust of the lemon pepper. So I guess if I had to pick one, it would be that one.
Why not Buffalo Wild Wings? The wings.
I don't mind it. Yeah. It just... They kind of seem like Hooters wings. I don't know if you remember Hooters, but like
I do remember
they were
Hooters.
all like the same size.
You're right.
They were
that
just
does make
all
sense.
like
They're all
the same small wing, and I think
And actually, you're right. The boneless, they're about the same
Yeah.
size, and it's so much. What's that? Well, the outside called like
the crust or the skin.
crust,
Yeah.
So, like the skin,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit of chicken.
Yeah.
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 And Buffalo. I mean, and Wingstop, you can get the big ones. You get small
Yeah.
ones. You get different. You're
Well,
right.
because the Wingstop wings, they have a crunch to it.
They do
That's
have a
why I
crunch.
like the lemon pepper, because it's not soaked in sauce, so you got a little crisp to it. And like the alitas, like I like eating the alitas. Crunch, nice little when you.
That's so true, man.
So that would be my complicated answer for that. Yeah.
And what's been your biggest reselling regret to this point, man? One
man.
regret.
Where do I start? I am fortunate to be in this community in terms of a financial sense at this time, because we're in such a crazy market that I'm happy to be in a bubble, a financial bubble. It's good for turnover. It's good for opportunities. It's good for growing your inventory. But my biggest regret is not buying way more stuff prior to it. I have a formula for this in terms of what's a good buy. Because people ask me all the time, like, oh, should I buy this? Should I buy that? Or there's 2 cards here. Which one should I buy first? A lot of people want to be investors and they want to invest in this hobby. And they say, what's a good hold? And they show me these cards. What's a good hold? What's a good hold? What's a good hold? My formula, whether it's right or wrong, is number 1, is it a popular Pokemon? Okay, check. If it's a Klefki, you move on. All right, so the first one, popular Pokemon, check. Number 2, is it a cool art? Cool art is super subjective, but if you see a little Mew in a bubble, I mean, the chance of that being cool for someone, the bubble Mew from Paldean Fates, or, even the Charizard EX from Paldean Fates, like that crystally looking Charizard. Yeah, it's weird, and it kind of tanked for a little bit. Like the Obsidian Flames Charizard, the lighter kind of version of that. Yeah, it sat forever at that price. But at the end of the day, it's a Charizard, and it's a crystal Charizard. One of these days, it'll just explode. Yeah. And now the Obsidian Flames hit, it's like $120. It used to be $60 all day long. The Paldean Fates Charizard EX is almost $1,000 as a PSA 10, and it was $450 forever.
Wow.
So if you have a popular Pokemon and a cool art, and the third caveat is when you buy it in terms of price, and that's a little bit more of you learning charts and graphs. If you're like that, you don't have to get to that third step. You can just stick with the first 2. Is it a cool Pokemon, and is it a cool art? And at some point, it'll hit a high, and it's up to you to have bought it when it was lower. If you're in that mentality of like, I want to sell it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I could name so many cards that are like that, especially Scarlet Violet era. The mid-era and vintage cards kind of sit a little easier, and they don't fluctuate as big as these newer cards do.
Do you think there's a reason for that?
Yeah, just there's a combination of new collectors. Everyone wants to chase the new set, and they want to open the new set. So, there's a high demand for the modern era because of the FOMO. It's FOMO and hype and marketing. Pokemon's the biggest marketing entity in the world. And, new collectors want to open packs. You can't open a base set booster pack because it's $1,200. You and your kids, or you and your brothers and sisters, or you and your homies at work.
That makes a lot of sense.
Let's open packs. And then they get in that investing mind. And for some reason, they just want to avoid the older stuff because the new stuff's like alt art, it's shiny, it's full card art and things like that. And that's great, but, cards will tank 60%. And people are buying at the high, and they're losing 60% value if that's what you're going for. So I think that's the formula. If you stick to that, where it's a cool Pokemon and a cool art, it just depends when you buy it. You know?
I think you that part of cool Pokemon 100%.
Yeah.
This Charizard is known.
Like tell me a Charizard that
Yeah.
hasn't had value.
Yeah.
That's never spiked. You know, Obsidian Flames arguably is one of the worst sets of Scarlet Violet because it really only has that one huge chase. It's that Charizard EX. Like the Ninetales is cool, and I think the Gloom is in that set too. But it really only has one huge chase. And if you look at the price of the booster box relative to a set that only really has one huge card, it still rises. It's Charizard.
Yeah.
So in 10 years from now, when someone has that nostalgia and they go to a card shop or they go to, they see you at your table, they go, what's Obsidian Flames? Why is there a Crystal Charizard on the box? If they don't know, oh yeah, this is the chase. Oh heck yeah, give me that booster box.
Yeah.
So it's, that stuff doesn't die out. There are certain Pokemon that are just super cool. Yeah. And even if the art's kind of like niche for you, someone's going to like it. Yeah. So.
No, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Is there a booster set that's your not a booster set, but is there like a, what do you call them? Man, just had like a little brain fart. Like a certain what do you call them? Like, my favorite is Destined Rivals.
Oh, like a set.
Yeah, like a set. A favorite set.
Oh man.
Journey Together.
No, not at all. Man,
that one gets. I feel like that one. Man, I feel like no one really likes that set.
Yeah.
Maybe in terms of investing, right?
Yeah, Destined Rivals.
No. Journey
Together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Destined Rivals and Journey Together have a good opportunity in terms of investing to be good because to turn to your answer, my favorite set probably is the old Gym Heroes stuff from the first era of Pokemon.
That's actually a really good set.
The Misty's Gyarados, the Giovanni's, whatever. The Sabrinas. I have a little PC of the Sabrinas Alakazam, the Sabrinas, all that stuff.
I remember
For me, that's like prime Pokemon, man. It's like all these gym leaders, you have their card with their Pokemon. Yeah. I think that's what they were trying to do with Journey Together and Destined Rivals, is like having that like trainer pair. Yeah. Back. I think Journey Together did good. They have a cool chase. People like Clefairy. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same logic. It's a good chase, and there's other good cards too. The thing with Destined Rivals, man, where's the Jesse and James card? That was the biggest mistake, I think.
Yeah. If they would have had Jesse and James,
like, there's no brainer. That should have been a top chase card, like the full art trainer Jesse and James with Meowth. And I know they have one from back then, but you got to have an SIR for Jesse and James.
Of course, man. I'm a huge Team Rocket. Rocket, yeah. Team Rocket is like, and I'm a vintage guy. Yeah, I like the new stuff. It's cool, but I'm a vintage.
Yeah,
vintage
Gym Heroes for me is probably the best.
I've never thought of that, but that's a really good point of view.
Great cards.
Gym. Yeah, I just picked up a couple from Collector's Den. He had
vintage. Nice.
He had a bunch, and I'm like, oh yeah, the gym leaders, Misty's Psyduck or whatever. Yeah. So such a great, vintage is my favorite. I grew up with vintage, bro, buying them from the ice cream truck for $5.
Me too. I would buy the stickers. I bought the stickers.
The little hologram
all the hologram stickers. That's kind of where the inspiration for my sticker came from. Was that vintage, when I was a kid, getting the sparkly stickers.
The sparkly ones with the Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, dude, it was like 10 for $1 or whatever. After school, you get your nachos, your hot Cheetos with cheese and chili. You get the Pokemon stickers, So that's kind of where my sticker came from, too.
That's
was
so
like
cool.
Having that idea. But yeah, Gym Heroes, and I think a runner-up would be like the Neo era.
Okay.
I love the booster pack art of like the Suicune, the Umbreon, the Espeon deck boxes and stuff like that. I would say that would be like a close second, but definitely Gym Heroes is still like my favorite.
Your favorite by far?
If I could get like a booster box of Gym Heroes first edition, that might be.
What's the price on that?
I think $20K or $30K.
Wow. 30 packs or 36?
Man.
Might be 30, huh?
Answer in the comments. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's something like that. Yeah. But that would be my like grail item. That's not a card.
Yeah.
Probably a Gym Heroes.
Would you open it?
No.
Of course not. Huh?
No.
Yeah. No. I want a vintage boot, like a box. box.
Yeah. With the acrylic and.
Yeah. Well, I think I would open it.
You would open it?
I think I would open it, man. Just that, chasing Celebi, bro. You just like. Straight up, bro. Like, man, I remember times were simple. It was easy. $5 a pack.
Got whatever.
That's expensive, but I think they were like $2.50, $2.99. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
I remember one time I worked at a tortilleria.
Mm-hmm.
My mom used to work at a tamale spot, and they had me, deliver the tamales, and I saved up like $300, bro. And I went to the Valencia Mall, and I bought so many booster packs. I was trying to chase the Charizard, but I did not know that you can only pull the Charizard from the Charizard pack. So I was trying to pull it from the fossil.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
From the what's the other one? The
jungle?
The jungle.
Yeah.
I was trying to pull it. I didn't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I'm like, I did not know. And because those weren't available to buy, everyone bought those.
Yeah.
I was buying jungle and fossil, and I didn't know.
Wow.
And I never pulled the Charizard. That's why I said I would open it, because I want to pull the Charizard.
I actually was going to tell you, I've never owned a base set Charizard myself either.
Yeah.
Whether raw or graded, never owned one. I've never pulled it, and then I never bought it. So, yeah.
Even a 25-year anniversary, I've never owned one.
Really?
At all. Yeah. That's probably my chase card. That's my chasing Celebi right there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Just a Charizard. It's just like everyone. And I remember everyone in my school had no one wanted to trade. I would get the Hitmonlees and Hitmonchans, bro. Like the Gengars. I'm like, I don't want that.
They'll be like, I know what I have. I know what it's worth. Little vendors in grade school.
No, for sure, man. Little kids here eating their little chalupas, bro, pulling the card out. Like,
man, when I was starting the vending thing, I got my childhood binder, and my brother, shout out Cardboard Romy, he had my other childhood binder at home. And he's like, hey, this is your binder too. Dude, I had so many cards that were like not sleeved and just shoved in the same slot. Like I had 5 Lickitungs like just shoved in there. And dude, I was just,
you know what? That was actually a common thing, because you knew if you had that same card, why put it in another slot? And you would just slip them in there.
But now people love that, that full page of the same card. Back then, dude, we're just shoving it all in the same slot. It was a heavy paper. It was a heavy page. You just slopping over 20 Charmanders and 2
and
slots.
And you have the ring binders, so
the ring binder,
and
man.
they get messed up. But you didn't know.
If it just shifted a little bit, it's just pressing. Card death, man. Crazy.
I know. Who would have known? And then I started. My mom, she has an ice cream truck, so I started getting booster packs, for her the sleeve ones, the booster packs, Destined Rivals, and whatever I could get my hands on.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Why are kids buying them?" She's selling them for $12. And she's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "I threw away all your binders." Like 2 years ago, I'm like, "Why did you?"
Not even a thought, right? No. Just like, you don't need this.
Yeah, you don't need this. It's
you don't
old.
need
You
That's what happened to my Bionicles. Remember Bionicle? Lego Bionicles?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I had like every color Bionicle, and then I'm a big Power Rangers guy.
Bro.
The Morphers.
Same.
I still have my Space Ranger Morpher. It still works. 3, 5.
Oh.
You hit the like the little flip cover. I don't have the Mighty Morphin Morpher, but I have the Zeo Morpher, the Power Rangers in Space Morpher, and then the Silver Ranger Morpher from Power Rangers in Space. And it still works, like the numbers shout out and stuff like that. And I used to play with the action figures and just like scratch them on the floor, get damaged.
Did you ever buy the McDonald's Power Rangers? Remember those?
Man,
they came with it was like a thing. You can't buy the toy unless you buy a combo.
Yeah.
Then you add the toy.
Yep.
Like the Pink Ranger, the Black Ranger. Yep. And I remember I would always want one, but we could never afford a combo. Yeah. So my mom was like, we're buying 3 chicken sandwiches. Yeah. She would cut them in half and she'll feed all of us. So
we're splitting this up.
And then she'd be like, we can't buy that. You have to buy a combo. Like, I'm like, oh, man. But I remember my aunt used to work at McDonald's, and she would get them for my cousins. And I'll be like, I want that. So every once in a while, my aunt would give me like a toy. But my aunt, she probably has all those at her house.
That's
she moved to Oregon. She took everything, bro. I don't know if you remember the Batman cups. Remember
Oh
those?
yeah.
Like they were all like they had like a texture to them, right? Like a groove to the cup.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember those, and she had all of them. All my cousins had that.
Crazy.
Yeah. So in the Garfield ones, remember the Garfield?
Yeah. They don't make them like they used to, man.
No.
That's what I say about cards. Like I delve in sports too a little bit. And I'm like,
Oh, no way.
They don't make the cards like they used to. Speaking of that, my mom. Shout out to my mom for doing this. Burger King's gold cards, the gold-plated cards. Man, I
just got some from. I got one, the Polyworld from Kevin.
Really?
Yeah.
I still have them to this day. They're not sealed, but I mean they're as good as I can have them. But she would like go after work and just go to Burger King's, dude. I mean, I was a kid and I didn't know she was doing this, but she got every one for me. So like she gifted me a complete set of all 6 of them. 6. But dude, she was hustling at Burger King, man, like trying to buy the Happy Meal and like, do you have this one? And like, I didn't know I was little, but that's a big like core memory for me is like having that complete set given to me by my mom. I didn't realize what it took to get a complete set, how many Happy Meal, kids meals you had to buy.
Yeah, bro.
So that's 100%. Definitely a core memory for me. And
then they had the little. I have a couple of toys. My daughter plays with them. The Burger King ones, because they don't show you which ones come. So my daughter plays with them.
Nice.
And I told her, look, you go play with them, just put them back where you found them.
Put it right there.
Right there, yeah. So do you remember the Toy Story ones, bro?
I don't.
You don't remember Toy Story? The Burger King ones.
I don't.
They didn't come with the Happy Meal, but you had to buy
the combo.
Buzz, yeah.
I don't remember that.
What about the Jurassic Park?
Oh, the little watch thingies, yeah. Yeah, they don't make them like they used to, man.
Bro. What about the commercials, bro? Remember the commercials?
Oh, dude, epic commercials. They would have like the licensing to have, Charizard be at the Burger King or whatever.
Super cool,
man. Yeah, no, it's definitely the '90s were the best, man. Yeah. I'm a '90s kid, so
same here.
Yeah.
If you can think of one thing that you had to sacrifice to get where you are right now as a reseller, what would that be?
Time.
Yeah.
Time and, it's hard because, I do have a family and stuff like that. And that's always the priority. And, part of the reason why I'm doing this is to take care of my family in the future, like long term. But it definitely takes a lot of time. And I try to make my time work. So whether it's editing a reel at 4 a.m. just because no one's awake.
You know what? It's funny because I think I messaged you, DM'd you late.
Yeah.
And I put my alarm for whatever. Yeah. And you responded. I'm like, was this guy up like 3 hours ago, bro? I'm like,
no, yeah.
In my mind, I'm thinking like, this guy don't sleep. But then I remembered, like, I just have a newborn. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I remember my daughter would wake up at 2, 3.
Yeah.
I had to feed her, put her back to sleep.
Yep,
so now I would check my phone, like, respond.
That's my time in the office, And I do everything like on my phone. Like, I just got gifted a laptop by another vendor, SoCal TCG Vault. They gifted me a laptop to like finally get my stuff together. But I edit on my phone, like my long form videos, my reels. Yeah. I'm like on my phone, like the thumbs going. So yeah.
Honestly, I feel like it's talking about time.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had a full camera setup, and I would go and film stuff.
Yeah.
And then I would download it to my desktop.
Yeah.
And it would take about an hour.
Yeah.
And then from there, I have to edit 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
And then I had to wait for another hour, 2 hours for it to upload.
Yep.
It was like a 2-3 day thing. And I'm like, man. And then one of my buddies, shout out to Ricardo, he's like, hey, man, I don't know if you noticed, but the new iPhones, the cinematic mode is so good. I can't even tell the difference from my camera and my wife's phone. She just bought the iPhone.
Yeah.
And he says, why don't you just film it from there? No one's going to know. No one's going to go there and start like, hey, that was an iPhone. Yeah. And once I did that, I edit. Man, the turnaround time's so quick, bro.
Get those reels done, man.
Yeah, I am, bro. I'm gonna do it for you,
Get
bro.
The clips done, man.
Shout out to Chasing Celebi.
Get the clips done, man.
Yeah, for the reels. I know everyone tells me if you do the reels, they'll go on to the.
You got a good following too, man.
Thank you, bro.
Especially
appreciate
on YouTube, like.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate
Yeah.
that, man. Is your wife very supportive of you selling?
Yeah,
and being a reseller.
It was interesting in the beginning because she didn't really get it in terms of like.
Does she like Pokemon?
Yeah, she likes Bulbasaur. She likes Bulbasaur. You know, she likes the cork ones. You know,
Okay.
like Pikachu and
Gotcha.
Squirtle.
Yeah.
But the main one's Bulbasaur though. Like I have to gift her the Bulbasaur stuff. And I don't think she understood it until she saw my first show, and I made like a big sale or something, and they were just like hundreds, 50, 50, 50, 50, 20, 20, 20, like on the table. And she was like, what was that for? I'm like, oh, I sold a couple. She was like, oh. You know, that was kind of the response. Yeah, she's super supportive.
That's cool.
I like,
but she's not into it like that. Nah.
No,
Yeah, my wife isn't really
no, like
either.
not like doing it too. I don't think. She definitely like sees stuff, and
Cool.
you know, she'll make funny comments like, "Oh, you got scammed by that guy," or like, you know, she'll watch the video and she'll like it, you
That's
know,
cool.
and I appreciate that. But yeah, I don't see her doing it in terms of what I'm doing.
I know. When I take my claw machine and I have VHSs too.
Yeah.
My wife says, it's cool. Like you said, my wife's the same way. She's like, where'd you get this money from? Like I have a little bag, like a little what do they call it? Like a tie-dye Vans bag, and I put all my dollars and singles in there.
Yeah.
And when she was out in Mexico August, so I just started saving. I started putting everything.
Yeah.
And I think it accumulated to close to like $6,000 on just a $1 claw machine. Bro. And she's like, "Where'd you get this money?
Yeah.
Like, what'd you sell?" I'm like, I've been doing pop-up events.
It doesn't
night
have to be
markets."
big transactions either. Yeah.
And it just built up, and she's like, "Dude, we made that much." I'm like, "Well, I didn't even count it. I was letting you do that."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." So, but my wife's she just Pikachu.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like that one, the fire one, but she Pikachu.
Yeah.
So that Pikachu became like my logo for my little.
Oh, I love
little
that.
pop-up. Yeah.
Yeah. She just, you know, she just likes her thing. Like, you know, she has a little Bulbasaur like sleeping on a pillow. Shout out Nessa. Hi. Yeah.
cool.
So I gotta remember what she likes. You know. So.
But you said she grew up in Mexico.
Yeah. I came here.
So they had the tassels out there.
Man,
the pogs.
I've been seeing people's like pickups though from like Mexico. Like people are buying product too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not what it was back
Of
then, but
course.
I'm like, I see people with booster boxes and stuff. I'm like, man, if I travel, what can I get out here? You know what I mean? Like I was thinking about that. Like, oh, I mean, I didn't know. Like I'm naive to that. Like, I saw someone posting their booster box pickup, and they were like in Mexico. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then obviously Japan and whatever, but it was cool to see that for sure.
How much longer will you be a reseller for? For as long as possible?
I need to hit my numbers. I need to hit my goals. Yeah.
What's your goals?
Oh man.
1 million?
So I have an inventory goal.
Okay.
In terms of market value. I don't think it's smart to only track your progress by the growth of your inventory, like up and down. Like I think you also need to consider like what you take stuff in at, which is what you understand too. You know, if you just buy everything at 100% and you're just kind of recycling your money in itself. But I would love to see my checklist is 10. So I started with $3,000, and then I hit the $10,000 mark. That was my next goal, and then 25, 50, and then 100. So when I hit 100K in inventory, that would be more decision making of how much time do I want to put into it now. And then the other goal is YouTube. I would love to hit the 50K subscriber mark. I would love to hit the 100K subscriber mark. Like you need a purpose for it too,
of course.
you know, and it'll pay off for my family one day. But I definitely want to do this with a goal in mind, because if I just do this blindly, it's just kind of, you're just kind of circling, possibly.
Yeah. No, that makes sense, man. I feel like you're really goal oriented, bro.
I have to be for this.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know what you want, you know what you're chasing, bro.
Well, it takes time, like we said earlier. The sacrifice of time. It's like you know, when do you prioritize your time for Pokemon, which is silly for a lot of people, and then prioritize your regular life, like my regular career, you know, family.
What do you do outside of Pokemon?
Oh man, I do physical therapy.
No way.
So that's why the people aspect of the job is so easy, because I coach people all day. You know, I'm trying to get people back on their feet. I'm trying to make them feel better, make them, you know, have some hope for the next day. So the people aspect of it is the easiest part, like talking and new person. I meet new people all the time because everyone is new.
Have you ever had anyone go, "Oh, chasing Celebi, I saw your reel."
No.
No?
I work with older people right now,
Got it,
so yeah, I don't.
Okay.
That would be weird.
He's like, "Hey, I saw you. I
Yeah.
saw your reel. I saw you on Instagram.
Not
I saw
yet.
you on YouTube."
That would be funny though
TikTok.
if I have that kind of reach, or someone that's in their 80s is like, "Hey, I saw you on YouTube yesterday." But yeah.
Oh man, that's so cool, dude.
Thanks,
Anything else you want to say before we end the podcast?
Just thanks for everyone's
Oh,
support. Like I'm not in a place where I want to be yet, but the progress has been amazing, and people are so generous with their support, and it's really fun to see everyone again and again at the shows, and that community is like super awesome. And I just want to say thank you, because without everyone that supports me on the Instagram and the YouTube and all that stuff, I would not be here at all. So none of it's me. It's really everyone that shares a video or makes a comment or comes back to the table. I'm here because of all those people. So the vendors, the customers, the friends that support, I'm here because of them. So that'll be my little shout out. Everybody. shout out everybody.
Shout out to everybody.
Yeah, shout out everybody.
Well, man, thanks again, Chasing Celebi.
Thank you for having me.
No
It's
worries.
been fun. It's
Kane,
my first
it's a pleasure.
podcast. So.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I appreciate you
So
giving
when
me
you're
a
big,
chance.
I'm gonna hold that against you. Be like, "Oh, I did his first podcast, bro."
Oh man, I really appreciate you giving
And
me
then
an
you can
opportunity.
turn around and be like, "Oh yeah, he paid me."
I have the receipts. I have the receipts.
Nah, he paid me, man. He got to pay me, X amount of money to get
That's
him
right.
on the podcast.
I got to call the
man.
lawyer. I got to call the receptionist, the manager. But no, I really appreciate you having me on
no
and
worries.
giving me a chance. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks again, man. Well,
Cool.
thank you guys for sticking until the end. This is the secret episode with Chasing Celebi, man. Where can people follow you, bro?
You can follow me on Instagram, Chasing Celebi, TikTok, Chasing Celebi, and the YouTube channel, Chasing Celebi.
Sounds good, man. Thank you guys. Catch you guys on the next secret episode. Until next time, guys. Retro Ground, Chasing Celebi out. Peace out, guys.